Amazing. Thank you, Elena. So we can get started. And before, I would love to give you a quick presentation of the event. HERizon First is a 3-week virtual program designed by us, 2024-2025 Galactic Peace Fellows, dedicated to empowering young girls, especially from around the world, to pursue position of leadership and authority by developing the skills and confidence you need to succeed. So we host a diverse range of panels and sessions on subjects like leadership development, political advocacy, and entrepreneurship, and more with experienced women in those specific fields. So today's it's about our first Zoom session, discover your leadership style. And without further ado, let's get started with the slides. And yeah, next slide, please. So before I get started, can you please help me, like, do you know the difference between equity and equality? People tend to use them interchangeably, but they are two different terms. I don't know if you know the differences between them, Pinto. You can type it in the chat or feel free to open your mic to answer. I guess everyone prefer to chat. Let's see. Okay, not completely sure. It's okay. Perfect. Equity and equality are two different words, and people used to use them interchangeably. And I think the differences between them two are equality is about giving everyone the same resources, opportunities, and power regardless of their starting point. So we can move to the next slide so we can have the meaning of the words. Yeah, equality is about giving to everyone the same resources, opportunities, and power regardless of their starting point. It treats everyone the same way, assuming that is fair. But equity is about giving to each person what they need to pursue. Everyone has the resources they need in order to access the same opportunities and power. Yeah, so that's equity. Equity is more about giving people what they need based on their individual situation so that everyone has a real chance to access the same opportunity. It's about recognizes differences and removing barriers. But for example, if you're giving out shoes to everyone, so equality means giving to all the same shoe size without their size, their own size. And equity is giving each person the shoe size that actually fits them. You can see in the next slide the example. For this example, equality is giving everyone the same side bike, while equity is giving each person a bike that fits them so that a tall person can have a big bike and a child can get a small bike, and someone with a disability might get a tricycle or a cycle. So that's the differences between equality and equity. And some people might take equity is a handout in the next slide, and that is unfair. But that's not what it means. Equity, you can go to the next slide. Yeah. Equity doesn't guarantee the same result for everyone. It just means that everyone get the same get the right support based on their needs so that they have a fair chance to succeed. Like in the next slide, you can see the example from Girl Activist Fellowship program. So she's the first provide a data stipend to girls who need it to fully participate in the meeting. That's equity because it's about understanding that some of the participants, some of the girls may face challenges like internet access issues based on their location. By addressing the specific needs, every girl has a fair chance to access the same content and opportunities. On the other hand, if the program gave the same data stipend to everyone, regardless whether they need it or not, that would be equality. It treats everyone the same, but doesn't necessarily um, help those who need extra support to fully take. So that's the differences between equity and equality. And now that we understand the differences, let's connect it to leadership. When we talk about a leadership style, it's not just about how we lead. It's because we are aiming to create equity within our teams. Like for example, we ask ourselves, what does every person or each person need to thrive, because when everyone is supported, when everyone feels seen, heard, understood, and valued, that's when we are at our most powerful and effective as an individual and as a team. So thank you for attention and welcome again to HERizon Fest, our first Zoom session, Discover Your Leadership Style. So Alaina, the floor is now yours.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Dashka, for the introduction. So as Dashka explained, leadership and equity and equality are all really important when it comes to leadership. Um, and Everybody has their own leadership styles. Everybody like thinks about leadership in their own ways. So now we are going to be talking a little bit more about discovering your own leadership style. Um, and what does leadership mean for you? So maybe if you want to put a couple of words in the chat about what leadership means to you, or maybe put in a definition, that would be great, just to like see how we all think about leadership in different ways. Yeah, so as in the chat, it's trying to make a difference in the world. That's a very, very good definition. Somebody also wrote being able to bring a group of people towards a common goal. That's also a very good example of leadership. Um, for this workshop, we're gonna define leadership as a practice of creating just and equitable world for all people. So similar to what everybody wrote in the chat. And of course, this is just a definition that is limited to this workshop, and everybody has their own sort of understanding of what leadership means for them. Uh, Now we can go ahead and look at, oh, so now I'm going to share a quiz with you guys, which you can fill in and just to discover your own leadership style. Uh, Here it is. And there you go. So and I'm gonna just go through the worksheet really quickly now. So this worksheet is essentially made to discover your own leadership style. And the way this works is that you are given on the next page, this page, different boxes that you're supposed to fill in. And there is a group of words in each box. So as you can see, box one, there is A, B, C, and D. And you are supposed to rank the group of words with what you think is the most important to you. So, for example, A could be 4 for me. That means that it's the highest importance for me. Second, C could be like third for me because I think it's really important to me. And B is 2 and D is 1. And you're supposed to do this for each other box. Um, and when an important thing to keep in mind here is that you are supposed to rank all of these 4 different fields from 1 to 4. Um, so you cannot rank 2 different fields as 4. So let's say you can't rank A and C as 4. It can only be from each box can only have 1 to 4, as in like rankings. Um, and yeah, and then after you have written all of the numbers for each box, you're supposed to fill them in this field. So for example, let's say for A, you're supposed to add in the number that you put in for the A field here, and you're supposed to gather all of them together and to get your final score. And we will further discuss this um, when you're done with filling in the worksheet. So yeah. Um, yeah, if there are any questions, you guys are more than welcome to ask them in the chat. If there are any words that don't make any sense, you can also ask us about them. Um, yeah. And I think we're gonna take around 15 minutes to uh go through the different for you to do that worksheet. If there are any people who are new in the group, please let me know if you guys need any help. Yeah, yeah, and yeah, you're welcome to start working on the worksheet.
You want me to play some background music?
Yeah, I think that would be cool.
Hold on. Apparently, you have to stop sharing for me to share music. Sweet. Is everybody ready? Should I end the upbeat background music? Okay. I think I can.
Okay, perfect. So I am gonna start sharing my screen again. Okay, Janaea will take away your screen share.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Shoot. Perfect. Do you guys see my screen? Okay, awesome. So now we're gonna go over to quiz results. And I would like you to make a note of the highest number that you got for the different fields so we can refer back to the worksheet. So out of these 4 different areas or fields, I would just like you to make note of the highest number that you got. So let's say you probably got 20 on gold or 20 on green. So I would just like you to make note of that. And then I would also like you to make note of the different colors. So there are 4 different colors: gold, blue, green, and orange. So I would just like you to also make a note of that, which we're gonna explain later on. Now I'm gonna go over to our next activity, and on your screen, I think you can see 4 different objects, and I would like you guys to um, do a mission based on these 4 objects. And your mission is that you are about to meet a government official to discuss and make a case for why you should think that they should focus more on environmental solutions in your community. Um, and as part of your presentation for this government official, you are supposed to use one of the 4 items. And so now your mission and your before presentation work is that you are supposed to use one of these 4 objects and make a presentation based off of that. And I would like you guys to choose, yeah, exactly. So choose one of these and think about it and maybe share it. Think about it for like a couple of minutes and then share it with the rest of the group. Yeah, and I think we could take maybe 5 minutes to just think about it. And if you guys need more time, you're more than welcome to ask us, and then we can talk about it. Yes. Yeah, and as Janae has put, made the instructions a little bit more clear if you guys need to just revisit them in the chat. Okay, so I think if you guys have started to like maybe think about your reasonings around why you chose that object, you're more than welcome to raise your hand and talk about it or put it in the chat. Um, just so that we could get a clear sort of understanding for, why you would want to choose the object for your uh reasoning. And yeah, as Janae said, please share your color result as well. So does anybody want to share it by talking?
For me personally, I am for the broom. The
Mm?
broom. I
Okay,
am for
yeah,
the broom,
why?
and I can't say that I already know the answer, but I feel that I can find a great resume, a great a solid policy based on the broom. And
Okay.
I can start by saying it's for cleaning and it's the part of transformation. I don't know if you guys you get used to the traditional broom. Us in Haiti, we use traditional broom uh, made from trees. I don't know how they do it, but they do it with trees. And I can find a solution with the broom. I think
Mm.
that's one of the thread of my leadership style because I cannot find or I'm gonna do it, but I know that gonna do it. I know. Please give me maybe 30 minutes, I will do it. How about you guys?
Yeah. Does anybody else want to share? I know that Immaculate Garang, I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing that wrong. If you want to share it, by talking, otherwise I could maybe talk about it. Um, or I mean, maybe I can talk about it then. They said that I am Team Broom, and that is because a broom can be a symbol of cleaning and keep a place healthy, and their color is gold. So that's a pretty good reasoning, actually. It's very, very, very smart. I don't think I would have like come up with that reasoning that quickly. So that's great. Um, does anybody else want to share?
Can I share?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, so I picked the sunglasses to
Yeah.
give like an example of like plastic pollution, and how
Okay.
like it makes like an impact like in the oceans, like
Yeah.
landfills and stuff like that. Um,
Yeah.
yeah.
That,
And
that's really cool. Yeah. And what color? Yeah. What color did you have?
blue.
Blue. Okay. Yeah, that's really cool.
Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's very smart too. Oh my God, everybody's so smart in this group. Um, does anybody else want to share? Ooh, okay. Ladia said that they would choose duck because oh wow, they have a lot of reasonings. Whoever I'm talking to will definitely have their attention grabbed. That's very true. Two, the duck is a literal representative of the environment, and whatever state the duck is in reflects the state. So we've left the environment in. That is also very, very valid reasoning. And number three, maybe in a year's time, I'd make this official again and see how different the duck presents itself. And they are agreeing. That is very, very good reasonings and very, very smart. Um, okay, so now after yeah, everybody's shared a little bit of their reasonings and why they would choose the object, we could potentially go over to the sort of your leadership style and how this all ties in together. So let me go over to gold. I don't think we had a gold uh, person. in the chat, but
I think immaculate is gold. Right?
oh yeah, it was Immaculate Gold.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, perfect. Yeah. Sorry, my bad. So Immaculate, you are super orderly and timely. You tend to be super concerned with tradition and history, and you are usually a super well-organized person who has like the well-organized notebooks, and you often are the one who outlines things and delegates tasks. Although you can be one of the challenges that can come up with your projects can be that you are overly concerned with details and doing things the proper way. Does this tie in with you, maybe? And also, yeah, Janae is also Team Gold. Um, so maybe this represents you accurate. Yeah. Oh yeah, see. So that's awesome. So, uh then we could potentially go over and then working with a gold person is essentially, you appreciate clarity, you prefer to make plans in advance, you're very good with organizing information. Sometimes you can be called bossy due to your need for organization and planning, which can be misinterpreted as controlling. Um, and sometimes you can get lost in planning, so you forget to be considerate to others. Uh, in a group setting, when your plans are ignored or not followed through, you can shut down and disengage. So maybe, you can talk about it. You can think about these things a little bit more next time you are working within a group. Um, Next we have blue. And blue are usually people who are super emotional and social. They're concerned about how everyone feels, and often they are the ones planning, the social activities and remembering birthdays and charming everybody and just taking things too personally, I guess. Um, and I don't think we have anybody blue in this group right now, but
And
just maybe,
Santa
sorry.
I'm blue.
Oh, you're blue. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
sorry. I'm so confused with all of the colors.
It's okay.
Yeah. Oh yeah, so then maybe you can remember or you can like recognize yourself in these attributes.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. Um, yeah, and then um working with you is can be like pretty great because you care about how a project will be perceived and you are super social and good with making people feeling included, and you want everybody's input before moving forward. um, but this could also potentially be a little bit hurtful, because if not everyone is participating in a group, uh, you might be afraid to move forward because you don't want it to exclude people. And you could make decisions quite personally, and this could make you feel like disliked, ignored, or excluded. So maybe you recognize yourself within these traits. Um, yeah. Yeah, and then we could continue on in green. So I think we had the Ladia, I think you were green, right? Oh, no. Yeah, sorry. And you are super analytical, intentional. You're usually the one doing the research and wanting to know all of the facts before making a decision. You love a good spreadsheet. And you can also be sometimes a bit slow in making decisions or overly critical of yourself and others around you. And working with you, you are very good at looking at a problem from different angles. You will diligently research and explore all options, and you can get lost in the details, forgetting about the bigger picture. Um, Often you can get like analysis paralysis that you can't move forward because you're weighing all of the different options and can get stuck there. And you can sometimes seem a bit rude when you ask questions about plans, when you're really just trying to get information and just trying to categorize it. Um, and yeah, and I think that just kind of like really ties into you. Next, I think we have orange, which Dashka was.
Yeah, I can do
Yeah,
the orange code because
yeah, of course, go ahead.
yeah, for orange, it's adaptable and energetic. Yes, I am. As I am. Can move quickly and efficiently. Highly social, able to change strategy and plans as needed. Yeah. Can procrastinate and get distracted easily. That's me. That's my description. Yeah. I yeah, did I say in the chat that's gonna be being like let me read it for you guys because she knows what she's talking about. I don't remember my color and then finding it. So yeah, it's correct. uh Orange is my color, and I can say that all of the trait and characteristic of it really well with my way to lead or to get involved in activity. And one some of the traits says usually the most energetic member of a group. They always bring the party. They are able to adapt really quickly when something needs to change. Um, yeah, they are interested in a lot of things all at once. That's one of my biggest, if I can say, weakness, because I tend to get involved in so many activities, so many nonprofit organizations at once. Then I forgot to take care of myself, and that I often experience overwhelming burnout. Yeah, and sometimes I just take a break from everything to really get started again. And I think uh yeah, that's all of my character.
Yeah,
They in I'm so sorry. And what like and whatever is directly in front of them is typically what's getting their attention. They look in so sometimes they can disappear and reappear from a group frequently. I remember I can say it from based on my experience with the fellowship program. I tend to get distracted by other activities, and then a little bit distracted. Like I forgot some of the activities of the group, and then I disappear. And then after that, you can find me again, more energetic than before and more active. Yeah, that's me. And they will often not complete task until the last minute. Oh my God, why? I can I can say that that's exactly what happened before, because I choose the broom, but I don't know how am I gonna figure out a great policies based on a broom. But I know I'm gonna fight. But I will wait. I just told you that to give me maybe 30 minutes so I can figure out what it really means. And I think that those characteristics, those traits in leadership styles help you understand your values, your strengths and weaknesses. And I think acknowledging them will help you get involved and be more efficient in your activities. That's I think Alina can take the lead because I'm having uh the- can you please take the
yeah.
lead for me, please? Because it's a little bit complicated now.
Yeah, like as Dashka was into like these leadership styles can like really help when you finding your strengths and your maybe something that you could work on potentially. Um and yeah, I don't remember mine. So, but I agree with Dashka. I think she's really energetic and she's like really good problem solver. So that's like as I was working on this project with her. So I think like you can actually like recognize yourself in these patterns. Um, so now like this is just we can go like do a small overview on like how different groups are very good at working together. So for example, gold and orange are opposites, but they can make a very powerful team. Uh, you know, as a gold, you were a powerful planner. Um, so you can, create a good plan and utilize the strengths of your orange team member who are, excellent problem solvers. So when you're seeing a gold struggle, you can get back on the same page and use your skills to inspire quick and decisive action. Um, And similarly, if golds are struggling a little bit with like planning and stuff, oranges can come in and play with what has been built and give instant feedback. So these are just some ways that like contrasts can be good. We could also go over to the next slide of blue versus green, how these opposites can also be a very powerful team. So we have, a blue person who's really good at noticing when your group members are shutting down or feeling left out. And you can use this power to help feel the green people feel listened to. And greens are good at research. You can team up with a blue person to be considerate of not only the facts but also the feelings. And a blue-green mind would like mind mapping exercise would be an incredibly powerful tool for you. So going forward, you guys can think about this, with your friends and family members. Yeah, and I mean, blue people are just as analytical as greens, and you analyze the feelings instead of facts. So you can help the greens move past analysis paralysis by giving quick feedback on how different options can be perceived by the others. So these are just some of the ways, like how, as I said, contrast can be good and how you can use your strengths and weaknesses together with other people. Um, and as it says here, no single leadership style is good or bad, or better or worse than the others. What's important is to consider how you can utilize each other's strengths and support one another's working styles so that everyone in a group can thrive together. And that's what leadership styles are, important to discover and worked around. Yeah. Yeah, so if you guys have any questions or reflections, you're more than welcome to share. But that was it from me and Dashka for today.
Yeah, thank you so much, everyone, for joining. And I can say you can find what I told you before about equity. How equity is important in creating balance in teamwork. As you know, each leadership style is important, and no one is bad or good, but we can find a balance. Know what does each of the member needs to try, and then when we know each other's needs and each other's strengths, we can better move forward and be more efficient. So that's all for the station. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you enjoyed my passion, my yeah. Oh, I am. I'm not a native speaker. Forgive me, but I'm trying to get involved in so many activities without letting that barriers block me. That's me. Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah, and just a reminder, these will be published on the She's the First YouTube channel, I think, and also on the website. So you guys can just go on there and check it again if you want to. And we have our next panel in 15 minutes, so you guys are more than welcome to join then as well. But yeah, that's it for this session anyways. So thank you so much for joining, everybody. It was really nice to talk to you all and get to know you a bit more. And hopefully we see you throughout our program. Yeah. Perfect. Yeah. Bye.